I'm one of the only ones on this entire train. It's sort of eerie, and we're going super slow. This is supposed to be a high-speed train. We've slowed to a crawl. The train's barely moving right now. I'm a little worried I might miss my flight. For the last few years, Mexico has been constructing a high-speed rail system in the Yucatan Peninsula called Tren Maya. In late November 2024, I had the opportunity to ride Tren Maya from the Tulum station to the Tulum Airport station. And this video is my experience. As I share this, I want to say that it's not my intention to disparage this project. I actually know a lot of the engineers from Mota Engel who worked on this, and I think it has amazing potential for the Mexican people. But the part of Tren Maya I experienced had just opened less than 2 months prior to me riding it, and it had a lot of rough edges that I'm about to show you. Getting to the Tulum station from the downtown of Tulum was slightly difficult. The station is positioned 15 minutes by car north of the center of Tulum, so you need to take a bus or a taxi to get there. Upon arrival to the Tulum station, I was immediately impressed with how large and modern the whole thing is. But there was an eerie feel to it because the entire parking lot, which is massive, was completely empty. It felt apocalyptic is the only way I can describe it. It's like the scene out of a zombie movie where these pristine public areas are just left abandoned. There was nobody around except construction crews and work vehicles. I was thinking to myself after I got dropped off, is this really even open yet? And I was getting weird looks from the construction crews and the security guards in the building, like, what is this guy doing here? I felt unwelcome. And inside the station, it was the same thing. There was only one other passenger in sight, and the terminal has all these empty shops around. Sitting at the Tulum station for Tren Maya, and it's super strange. It's completely empty, and you can probably hear the construction noise going on around me. There's people in hard hats walking around, they're welding, they're still building this thing. And all the shops are empty. There's a bunch of like just empty glass shops where presumably there's gonna be like convenience stores and things like that. It was so bizarre getting here. I tried to book a bus and I somehow missed it. They didn't announce it. It seems like they were confused, like there's a bus to Tren Maya station? I didn't even know that existed. And then when I went to go out and get a taxi, since I missed the bus, people were like, Tren Maya, where is that? They were asking the other taxi drivers, like, do you know where Tren Maya is? And they didn't know. So this is brand new and kind of eerie. I don't know if I'm gonna actually get on this thing because I tried to go through the gates and they're like, you have to come back at 4, which is when my train is supposed to leave. So we'll see what happens. But here's what the airport looks like. It's a nice building, very modern. It's got a big fountain thing in the middle, water feature, and you can probably hear the welding and pounding and stuff that's going on. Aside from the emptiness of the station, there was other signs that this thing is just not quite done. In the bathroom, which looked like no one had ever used them yet, the water wasn't on, so the toilets didn't flush, and the sinks didn't work, and the power outlets around the whole facility don't have electricity going to them. My phone was low, it was about to die, so I was searching the whole station for an outlet that worked, and I couldn't find one anywhere. I was plugging into all these different places, none of them worked. There was an upstairs section that I started to go up, I started to climb the stairs, but some staff members ran up to me and told me that it was closed. And that was another weird thing. There was probably 20 staff members standing around either in the ticket booth or the security guards at the gates. And then of course, dozens of construction workers moving around all over the place. And the gates were like the ones you see in the public metros where you can tap your card or ticket and it'll give you access. It's automated and electronic. But those two were not yet functional. They were just off and they just had security guard people standing around. And when it came time to go to the train, a staff member escorted me as the only passenger in sight to the platform. I waited on the platform, and while I waited, a couple other passengers did eventually end up showing up. So it was now 3 passengers and about 15 more staff also just waiting on the platform.
And then 4 p.m., my scheduled departure time came around and went. The train didn't show up until a full 17 minutes later at 4:17 p.m.
On the Tren Maya right now, heading to Tulum Airport, and I'm one of the only ones on this entire train. It's sort of eerie, and we're going super slow. This is supposed to be a high-speed train. We're going 10 kilometers an hour probably. So, and the train showed up 15 minutes late, and it's probably going to be at least 15 minutes late getting to Tulum Airport. It's smooth, but again, we're going super slow. So, you know, how does this look at 100 kilometers an hour? I don't know. Let me show you some of the quirks and features. It has a tray that folds down like an airplane. It has little coat rack hook things right there. It's got seat things so you can rest your, or foot things so you can rest your foot. It's got over here on the right, it's got an outlet for charging. I'm currently plugged into it and it's working. In the terminal itself, the ports weren't working. I tried to plug into a few places and they weren't even on. Some of the water wasn't on in the restrooms, the toilet didn't flush, the sink didn't turn on. So this is very much a project in development. Oh, and we're picking up speed here. This is kind of good. Let's see what happens. Now we're going 20 kilometers an hour. That's a rough guess, I don't know. Also, there was workers lining the roads. You can see those roads are kind of unpaved. And there was like trucks and people working, digging, building fences. And this is right through the heart of the jungle. As you can see, they must have cleared a lot of trees to make this happen, because it's just dense Mayan jungle on both sides of us. We doubled our speed, but we're still going slow. It's super quiet. It's electric, but there's a soft humming noise. It's like wow, wow, wow kind of noise. There was a Wi-Fi network that I tried to connect to, but it didn't even work. It's just didn't have any speed, so it's just kind of a dummy network. Again, they probably just haven't turned it on yet. Even after the slight acceleration, we're still going slow. I think I could run faster than this train. As for the prices of the tickets, there's different prices, different price tiers based on where you live, who you are essentially. If you're from one of the states that this train passes through, you have the cheapest rates. If you're a Mexican tourist from any other part of Mexico, then you have the next tier up. And if you're an international tourist, you have the highest tier of tickets, which I am. I paid 64 Mexican pesos for this ticket. And I originally tried to buy the Mexican one since I'm a resident of Mexico, but that is in fact only for Mexican citizens, so I fall into the international tier.
Tren Maya has a pretty nice modern website where you can look up schedules and even book your tickets online. So here is the exact train I took, the 4 p.m. from Tulum to Tulum Airport. As you can see, there is a premier class, and if you click over here, there is the tourist class. Here you can see the 4 tiers of pricing, and I of course chose the international tourist option, which cost 64 pesos, which is about $3 US. And I found the entire online checkout a bit tedious, as it asked for a lot of information like passport number, phone number, and email, things that you don't normally have to provide if you're riding ground transportation. But anyway, be aware of that.
Looking at the map, we're about halfway, and we've slowed to a crawl. It's like the train's barely moving right now. I'm a little worried I might miss my flight. The screen is having troubles. It's just flickering on and off. Okay, we're getting pretty close. It's 4:40, so we're only 3 minutes late right as of now. But let's see how much longer it takes to actually get there. Probably another 5 minutes.
As I rode, there were construction workers actively working on the other side of the track, which is always a reassuring feeling, like, oh, is this thing really done? And then another strange thing was that a lot of the construction workers were filming the train approaching the station on their cell phones. And I thought to myself, don't you see trains come in like 5 times a day? It's kind of unsettling. Like, are you filming because we're about to derail and plunge into a cenote? Which, by the way, I saw a cenote entrance right off the tracks at one part. I didn't get it on video, but there was a part where the fence on the outside of the track looked like it had been swallowed up by a cenote, and there was also fallen trees over the entrance of it, and it was very interesting. And that was a good reminder that this whole thing is built over underground rivers. Now, upon arrival at the Tulum Airport station, which was also a very nice, very beautiful building, I had thought, and this is my own lack of research, but I had thought that the train would pull right into the airport. It didn't. You have to then get on a shuttle to go from the Tulum Airport Tren Maya station to get to the actual Tulum Airport, and that took another 12 minutes and cost 35 pesos. So let's add up all the costs and time. The taxi to the Tulum station was 200 pesos and 15 minutes. The train itself was 64 pesos, and with delays, took over an hour. And the shuttle from Tulum Airport station to Tulum Airport was 35 pesos and 12 minutes. So taking Tren Maya from Tulum to the airport was about 300 pesos or 15 US dollars and about an hour and a half. A bus from the ADO station in the center of Tulum to the Tulum Airport directly would be slightly cheaper at 220 pesos, but would only take 45 minutes. A taxi would probably be 400 to 500 pesos and also take about 45 minutes. So was it worth it? From a time and cost perspective, no, not at all. From an experience perspective, I'm super glad I did it. Ever since I heard about Tren Maya years ago, I was excited to try it out. I was excited for Mexico. Tren Maya seems like the physical representation of a new and optimistic era for Mexico. But my takeaway here is that the train just isn't ready yet. Now, I do also want to point out, I only tried the very smallest and newest stretch of the track. I'm sure if you started from one of the stations closer to Palenque or even Playa del Carmen, the experience is probably more polished, and I expect that as time goes on, they'll work out all the kinks that I showed you. But for now, I felt like a beta tester. Someday I'll be back and I'll let you know how it's going. But in the meantime, I sincerely hope that Tren Maya is an enormous success over the long term and that it's a net positive for the residents of the Yucatan Peninsula.